Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to the new sponsor, Dueling Guard. They have great mats, deck boxes, sleeves, everything you can think of for TCG apparel. Check them out in the description box down below and use code SAKO for 5% off. Hey guys, Lucas Sacco here. Today I'm showing you guys some Yubel combos that I did this past weekend at YCS Sacramento. I was able to get to the top 8. Unfortunately, I did lose to Jesse, but these are the combos I did. I think they worked great. I've kind of been doing these since Nats and the NWCQ. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop in and show you guys those combos. This is a 1-card combo. This is Nightmare Throne. So we're going to start with activating Nightmare Throne and using that to search for Lotus. Lotus is your most premium starter. Obviously it's Throne, but Throne just gets to Lotus. It's like the most premium monster to start with. So we're going to use Throne to get to Lotus, use Lotus, tribute itself, and summoning out Spirit, and Spirit to place Pain. Make sure you set this from deck. It helps you play around things like Droll, Drastic Drop Off, random things like that, Dispelling. But it's better to set this card almost always. Then use Pain's effect to destroy our Spirit of Yubel, which is going to trigger the Spirit of Yubel and the Throne to special summon out Terra Incarnate and Yubel, while adding us a Squirmer to hand. From there, we're going to link 2 into Yama and use Yama to add our Sharvara. This is how we're kind of going to play around hand traps for this combo, because at any point if you get impermed or nibbed, you always have the ability to drop a Sharvara down and like kind of go from there. So next thing we're going to do is Fusion Summon, protect ourselves as much as possible by summoning out a Phantom of Yubel, and then we're going to special summon Squirmer from our hand and link into Moon. This will get us into our Fiendsmith engine. We're going to link the Moon into Requiem, and link Requiem activate Requiem to get us an Engraver. Use Squirmer to special summon back out the Spirit of Yubel, and then Sharvara to destroy it. At this point, we're not trying to play around stuff as much as possible because we have the Phantom. But when we destroy our Spirit, we're going to go Chainlink 1 Spirit, Chainlink 2 Yama. We're going to use Yama to special back the Spirit from our graveyard and summon Yubel from deck. Then we're going to link away the Fiendsmith Engraver and Spirit of Yubel into our Sequentia. Sequentia is going to activate the effect putting back Moon and Requiem to equal a Lacrimosa, and we're going to use Lacrimosa to then get our Fiendsmith back in hand. We're going to activate the Engraver to discard itself and add Tractus, and then activate Tractus to add Lurie and discard Lurie, which will trigger Lurie to special them out. So you should have a board that looks something similar to this at this point in time. We're then going to link away our Lurie and our Sharvara into Rage, which is going to get Sharvara to set the chamber here. And then we can link... we're going to activate the Engraver actually to special summon back, and then Fusion Summon with our Tract Engraver. That's going to get us onto Desiree. And then we can use the effect of Sequentia to then equip onto Desiree. You have the option to burn here if that's what you're wanting to do with the Lacrimosa. Like if you're coming somewhere close to time and you really don't want to be burned by your opponent, you can choose to burn here. It's just going to make you lose a little bit of follow-up because you're going to have to shuffle back the Engraver in your graveyard. Now that we're here, we're going to actually proceed to end phase and use the effect of Yubel to tribute our Rage, and then use Lotus effect to special summon out. A lot of people are wondering how I made use of like the extra bodies in this deck, since I don't play any like links that are like Appaloosa, any high link forge or anything like that, how I was getting bodies out of the links. And a lot of the time you end up either linking like kind of repetitively into like Light Fiends randomly, like remaking Moon and things like that. That way you can make Desiree, or you can tribute them off with Yubel. That way you can get the same disruption as like the Phantom by having the Lotus on field. So here, this is a 1-card combo that ends with Phantom of Yubel, the Lotus disruption. So 2 like very similar disruptions here for monster effects. You have Desiree, which is going to non-targeting negate 2 cards on the field. And then you have the Trap card Chamber, which is going to special back Rage. Rage will link with their monster, go to SP, SP banish a card, then SP banish a card again. So adding it all up, it's anywhere from like 6 to 7 disruptions, depending on how you count Desiree. But this board off of 1 card is absolutely insane. It plays around hand traps very well. That's it for the 1-card combo with Throne. Let me show you the 1-card combo with Engraver. With just Engraver, you actually do need some amount of discard, so I went ahead and put some knowledge in our hands so we can discard it for the combo. We're going to start with just activating the Fiendsmith Engraver, adding Tractus, then using Tract to get Lurie, and then Lurie to special summon out. We're going to link Lurie into Requiem, and then use the Requiem to summon the Fiendsmith Engraver here. We're then going to use the other Fiendsmith in our graveyard, shuffling back Lurie to special summon itself out, and then link into Sequence. Sequence is going to Fusion Summon, putting back the Requiem in one of our Engravers to make a Lacrimosa, then Lacrimosa is going to target our Fiendsmith to special summon it back. A little tip just for like playing with these cards in general and how you're using this combo. You're almost always going to use Lacrimosa to add back the Fiendsmith to your hand unless you've already activated the Fiendsmith. This is what's going to let you put Tractus in your graveyard and actually end with Desiree on every single board. That's one thing that's very unique about my build of Yubel, is that in every single 1-2 card combo you always end with Desiree. It doesn't matter the situation. So like it's best that you try to play to your deck's like win condition and what your deck was built to do. So we're going to specify the Fiendsmith here, and then we're going to overlay with the Fiendsmith and Lacrimosa to make Beatrice. That's going to dump our Lotus, and now we have access into our Yubel engine. So we're going to go Muckcracker, discard the Droll and Luckbird, special back Lotus, use the Lotus effect to tribute itself and special summon Spirit. We're going to set that Pain from deck, then use it to destroy Spirit of Yubel to add our Squirmer, and Spirit will special summon out Yubel. Special Squirmer is destroying the Yubel, and Yubel floats into Terra Incarnate. So right here, like, this is where like they may consider like hand trapping you with some Bestials, but at this point it's too late. You have so many Bestials, or so many different names, that at this point a Bestial really wouldn't affect all that much. If they Bestial you early, they open themselves up to just playing into so many different extenders that would punish them, or talents. So a lot of the time people try to wait until later in your combo, and it just ends up just not working for them. At this point, we're going to link away our Terra Incarnate and Squirmer into Yama, and use Yama to add our Sharbara. And then we can actually go ahead and fusion summon by putting back the Terror and the Lotus to make a Phantom of Yubel. And then we can use Squirmer to banish and special back Spirit. With that, we're going to make a Rage, and actually use Sharvar to destroy Rage. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Rage, Chainlink 2 Yama. Use Yama to special summon back out the Lacrimosa, and then use Rage to add the Fiendsmith to hand. And the reason we're doing it this way is because we're trying to get access to our Light Fiends again by putting them either on the field or in our hand with a bunch of different ways. So we're going to get as many Light Fiends as possible doing that. Then we're going to make another Phantom of Yubel, link away Sharvar and Phantom of Yubel into Moon, which is going to trigger Sharvar to then set the chamber. And with that, we now have 3 Light Fiends that we've scavenged together from random spots on our combo. And we're going to activate Tractus to fuse with Moon, the Lacrimosa, and the Fiendsmith in hand into Desiree. And then we can actually use Lacrimosa to put back our Moon, so we're not wasting any sort of resources doing this, and we're going to burn them for 12. And then we have the Sequentia equip onto our Desiree. This is your combo with just Fiendsmith. It does use 1 discard, and the board is a little bit weak. However, it's very like anti-board breaker. It's really hard to use board breakers on this type of board, and like it's kind of set up to where you want to make sure your most powerful disruption just kind of goes through, and that's why you have all of these different disruptions. Your chamber is by far your most powerful disruption. That using itself to like summon out the Rage, and then Rage linking with their monster into SP, SP banish, then SP banish again. Absolutely insane. That's 3 disruptions on its own. Desiree is there to make sure that goes through, and then Phantom of Yubel's there to stop it from any like DD Crow or like Bestial or things like that where they disrupt it. But this is the 1 card combo, just Fiendsmith. Let me show you guys some of the 2 card combos now, because this is where the deck gets really, really powerful with its sort of disruptions. This is the most powerful 2 card combo in the deck. It's Beckoning Beast or Gates and Throne Access. Alright, so this is the most powerful 2 card combo in the deck. This combo here is opening of the Spirit Gates and Throne or Beckoning Beast. It doesn't really matter like which engine piece you open as it comes to like the opening side of it. But you do have to have Throne. So we're going to start off with activating opening here to add Beckoning Beast. And then we're going to normal summon Beckoning Beast and use its effect to add. I like to sequence my turn like this. It makes my opponent maybe hand trap a little bit more or less correctly than they're supposed to. From there, we're going to activate Throne and use that to destroy Spirit of Yubel from the deck. And Spirit of Yubel will summon out the Yubel. We have our additional normal summon from Dark Beckoning Beast, which is what we're going to use to summon our Chaos Summoning Beast. Now it's important that we link away the Yubel and the Dark Beckoning Beast into Moon, and fusion summon with Dark Beckoning Beast and Yubel. The reason that it's better to use those 2 monsters is because if you do get like hand trapped in a very weird way, it's better that you have the Dark Beckoning Beast immediately in your deck for like the sort of follow-up that you can draw into. From there, we're going to link our Moon into Requiem and use Requiem to summon out the Fiendsmith Engraver from deck, and we can link into Sequence now. Sequence is going to fusion summon, putting back the Moon and the Requiem, and then we're going to use the effect of Lacrimosa to actually add back the Engraver to hand. This is where the combo gets a little bit weird. Since this combo doesn't use any discards, we're going to activate Engraver to add Tract, and then actually use Opening of the Spirit Gates to discard the Tract to summon from Graveyard. We don't really need the extra body from Tract, but we do need its Graveyard effect. That's why we went ahead and activated Fiendsmith to get us in this position. On Spirit Summon, we're going to use Spirit to then set Pain, and use Pain to destroy our Spirit of Yubel. It's going to add Squirmer to hand, and then from there we can do Chainlink 1 Spirit of Yubel, Chainlink 2 Throne. It's going to add our Terra Incarnate to hand, and then we're going to choose to summon it, and then summon Yubel. We're going to summon out the Squirmer from our hand now, and link away the Squirmer and the Terra Incarnate into Yama. Use Yama to add Sharvar, since we haven't even gone through any of this package yet. Now we're going to fusion summon with Terra Incarnate and the Chaos Summoning Beast into Phantom of Yubel, and link the Yama and the Phantom into Soul of Rage. From here, now we have a lot of protection. Even if they have like Nib Valor or Nib Imperm, something like that, we have a lot of different lines from here, but we're going to force out that interaction of Nib Valor right now, because we're going to go activate Squirmer effect to then special summon Spirit of Yubel from Graveyard. If they have Nib Valor, they have to activate it right now, because we're about to make the Varudris, which is our second negate, onto the field. So if they do activate it now, you always have the ability to change Sharvara, like destroy your Rage, and get a lot of different resources that way, and still on a very powerful board. So now we're going to overlay Spirit and Yubel into Varudris, and now we're safe from things like Nib Valor, hand trap combinations that are very powerful, and we're going to activate Sharvara to destroy the Rage. Chain Link 1 is going to be Rage to add back the Fiendsmith to hand. Chain Link 2 will be Yama to special summon from Graveyard. Funny enough, we only have one Fiend in the Graveyard that can be special summoned, so we're going to put the Rage back on the field. Doesn't really matter what you summon here, but we're just going to be linking it away. We're going to make Moon, and then use Sharvara to set the Chamber Trap from deck, since we do have Rage in rotation now. And then we can use Tract to Fusion Summon. So we're going to Fusion Summon with Moon, sequence it in Graveyard hand into the Desiree. And then we're going to use Sequence to equip onto the Desiree. So there's our main form of disruptions. And at this point, you may be thinking, like, how can the board get any better? We actually have gone the whole combo without activating the Graveyard effect of Engraver. So we're going to use that now, put back Moon, and then make a Caesar on top of the board. So we've achieved basically every boss monster in our extra deck without having to play a bunch of like different link monsters, maybe less optimal cards in my opinion, and we still end with like a plethora of disruptions. Like if you count this out, it's 1 for Phantom of Yubel, 1 to 2 for Desiree, 2 off of Caesar, 1 off of Varudris, then you have Chamber, which is 3 disruptions in its own. This combo is like 8 to 9 disruptions based on how you view it, and from there you can also get like different forms of follow-up. So this is the most powerful combo in the deck. I'm going to show you a little bit of a different combo and what you're supposed to do if you don't always open like Throne or access to the Yubel cards. So in the next combo, it's actually going to be Beckoning Beast plus Fiendsmith. So this is the combo with Dark Beckoning Beast and Fiendsmith. For this combo, both lines of play do play into Droll. So you can't really play around Droll by like starting with one or the other one. However, we can choose to play around early Bestials by starting with the Fiendsmith. So that's how we're going to sequence our turn. We're going to start with activating the Fiendsmith, discarding itself to add Tract. Then activate Tract to discard the Lurie that we add off of it. Lurie is going to summon itself out, and then from there we can link Lurie into Requiem and activate Requiem to special summon the Engraver from deck. At this point, we're now at 4 summons, so we're going to normal summon our Dark Beckoning Beast and get our Opening the Spirit Gates. At this point, if they nib us, it's not too bad, because we do still have like a lot of extenders. We have Opening, we can summon back the Dark Beckoning, we can additional normal summon, we have Graver and Graveyard, so not too bad y'all here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to activate Opening to add our Chaos Summoning Beast, and then normal summon Chaos Summoning Beast, and make Yama. This is how we're actually going to play around Nib for the rest of the turn. So like if they nib us earlier, we do have a lot of bodies left to play with, and we can just kind of sequence our turn from there. But now we're just going to add Yama. We're going to make Yama add Sharvara, and then we can make Sequence. At any point in our turn, if they do decide to nib us, or they decide to like Imperm our guy, we have Sharvara effect, which can pop our Sequence, and then we can use Yama to just summon it back. We can do that with any line of play that we're currently on throughout this combo, and that's really important for playing around Nib and Valor. So we're going to use Sequence Effect to Fusion Summon. We're going to make Lacrimosa, putting back the Requiem and the Lurie. We didn't make Moon in this combo, or else we'd usually be putting that back. But we're going to put those 2 back, make Lacrimosa, use this effect to target the Fiendsmith Engraver. Like I had talked about earlier, since we already used the effect of Engraver in hand, we're going to summon it out. We're going to use the Engraver and the Lacrimosa to make Beatrice, and use Beatrice to dump a Lotus. That's how we're going to get access to our other package here. Now we're going to use Opening to discard the Droplet and summon out our Lotus, which is our branch for the Yubel cards. We're going to use Lotus to tribute itself and summon up Spirit, then use Spirit to set Pain, and Pain is going to destroy Spirit. Spirit's going to float into a Yubel as we add Squirmer, then we're going to summon Squirmer and pop Yubel. Yubel will float into Terra Incarnate at this point. From here, it doesn't really matter how you sequence your turn, but I like to Fusion Summon immediately. This is going to protect us from any further hand traps at this point. Now we're going to use Sharvara to destroy our Terra Incarnate. This may look a little bit weird, and you may be asking why we're doing this, but the main reason we're doing this is so that we can use Yama to special summon back Spirit of Yubel, and then we can destroy Spirit of Yubel with that Yama effect. It's going to get Spirit to summon back out Yubel, and you do this because you wanted to put your Yubel back in the deck, that way you can get to your Phantom of Yubel early, but you also want to have access to 2 10s, because we're still going to make Varudris in this combo. It's a really weird sequence. It's going to be hard to remember, but it's really worth it in this combo for how you're going to sequence stand on the end board. Now that you have the Yubel, you're going to actually link away the Sharvara and the Beatrice into Rage, which is going to have Sharvara set your trap, and then you can link away your Squirmer and your Rage into Moon. Then we can use Squirmer, summon back our Phantom of Yubel, or our Spirit of Yubel, and make our Varudris. That's our second Omni Negate there. Then we can use Engraver. Still haven't used him to summon back yet because his card's broken. And now we can use Track 2 Fusion Summon. This ends us with Desiree, Phantom of Yubel, Varudris, and of course our Chamber into Rage. So once again, this is like 6-7 disruptions, however you're wanting to count it. It's a lot of different bodies on the board as well that are really hard to out. The Phantom of Yubel, I mean, they can't obviously attack over it because of its effect. They have to attack the Phantom of Yubel, so it's hard for them to out the Desiree and the Varudris by battle. If they out the Desiree, you obviously get to send something on their field. If they out the Varudris, you get to pop something. So this board is like really sticky. It's really hard to out in that regard. That's why I chose to do this combo with those two cards. But those were 4 of the most important combos that I did this weekend at Sacramento to achieve a top 8 finish in a YCS. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you had any questions about the combos itself or what you'd like to see next, please leave it in the comments down below. I did want to give a brief shout out since this is my first video with my new sponsor, Dueling Guard. If you want to check them out in the description, that would be great. Use code SACO for 5%. Besides that, I just hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.